I can probably. Getting directions to Ouachita Baptist University.
Season that we have ever seen. The regular season home schedule comes to an end tonight. It's Ouachita and Arkansas Monticello in doubleheader action. Yes, we have made it all the way to senior night. Yet these two teams have not played that many games. It's still a fairly new situation for second-year head coach Robert Dallimore. His team having so many games canceled due to the COVID protocols. And then on top of that, of course, last week we were all hit with severe weather conditions that knocked out some of the 2020-2021 GAC action. The Ouachita women have played only 5 games. They are 2-3. But they've won their last 2 contests, and they have won them in convincing fashion, scoring 100 points or more for the first time since the 2017 campaign, defeating Southern Arkansas here in Arkadelphia on February the 20th, 102-86, and then taking on their rival across the street at the Duke Wells Center. What a win that one was at Henderson, 69-66. So after starting the year 0-3 and having more than 10-plus games canceled, Ouachita has won their last 2, and they are sitting at 2-3. UAM has had 14 games canceled, 12 in a row until their game was able to be played just a couple of nights ago. Their record is 1-4. They lost big time to Southern Arkansas on the 22nd of February. Now keep in mind that was right after Southern Arkansas had come here and lost to Ouachita. And then the Mule Riders put it on the Cotton Blossoms by the score of 93-51. And again, prior to that, it was 12 consecutive games canceled for UAM. They also had a loss at Harding on January the 21st, and they also had a loss at Southern Arkansas on January the 11th. Their only win was a game on January the 9th, if you can go back that far, against Harding in Monticello at the Steelman Fieldhouse. It was a 5-point victory over Harding, 76-71. And so the most unusual and unique situation here, we come to the end of the regular season home schedule for Ouachita with just a couple of more games to go, and yet we're looking at 2 teams that we don't know just a whole lot about. Monticello 1-4, Ouachita 2-3. After this contest, I shouldn't have said a couple, I meant just one more, a couple counting this game, but after that just one game remains. And that'll be on Saturday, February the 27th, when Ouachita travels to Arkansas Tech to take on the top seed Golden Suns to end the regular season before the conference tournament. When we come back here in just a moment, we'll take a look at the standings and also give you a comparison matchup between these two teams. That's coming up next. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens? Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day. Tell Big Vape to quit lying.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Welcome back to Bill Vining Arena. Michael Westbrook with you from high up in the bleachers above the GAC banners that hang for the men's teams, with the women's banners across the way from us. Again, we're not broadcasting from the court this year because of the COVID protocols. Let's take a look at the Great American Conference standings. As we mentioned, only 2 games remain. This year it was broken up into an Eastern and Western division. In the East, Arkansas Tech has claimed the top seed at 10-1, 11-1 overall. Harding is number 2 at 6-5. Henderson 5-5. All of this coming down to winning percentages since the teams have not played the same number of games. That puts Ouachita 4th at 2-3. Southern Arkansas 2-8. And Monticello at 1-4. Now, if things were to end today, that means Ouachita would host an opening round game because 1 and 2 receive a bye for the opening round of the conference tournament. 3 and 4 would host teams 5 and 6. So keep that in mind. These are very important games for Ouachita. The western side, Southwestern, the number 1 seed, 14-2. Southern Nazarene next, then Southeastern. East Central at 8-7. Northwestern is slotted in the 5 spot. They cannot move up or move down at 4-11, and Oklahoma Baptist will be the number 6 seed from the West with a record of 2-14. The teams in the West have gotten to play a few more games than the teams in the East because of the situations with Ouachita and UAM. So I don't know if that necessarily matters at this point. Maybe Ouachita has some fresher legs at the end of the year. We can hope that will be the case for postseason play. But, of course, you got to go up against your division first, the Eastern Division first, before we even talk about the West. Players to watch in this one as we're just about ready for the starting lineups. Dr. Casey Model down courtside will introduce those starters for us in just about a minute or so. Well, Eden Crow has really come on strong the last couple of games, setting some big numbers the last couple of times out. And, you would expect that from a player like Eden Crow, a senior who has played and started all 5 games, averaging 30 minutes a contest, and she's averaging 15.8 points a game and 10.4 rebounds a game, a double-double. And for UAM, look out today for Mackenzie Tillman. And some of the numbers on Tillman this year, she leads her team in points scored at 11 and also averages 5 rebounds a game. And she's shooting 40% from the floor, 18 of 45 in 4 games, so about 10 shots a game for Tillman. Look for her to try to get those numbers. And we can quickly take a look at some of the team stats as well. Just a couple of things to point out for you. UAM only averages 55 points a game, whereas Ouachita is averaging 77 a game. So look for that number to be something of interest today. If Ouachita can get out and score early, they might have a really good chance to take a wire-to-wire win. We'll wait and see what happens, of course. Here's the starting lineup, starting first for Arkansas Monticello, and first-year head coach Markel Cox. He is taking over for Tanya Ray, who led the team for several years. Again, they're 1-4 overall and 1-4 in GAC play. It's number 1, Taylor Flores, and Flores is averaging 5 points a game, 2 rebounds a contest. Also, Nina Kizzy is a starter, wearing number 10, making her 5th start in 6 games this year. Number 14, Arian Hawkins. Hawkins making only her 2nd start, averaging 4 points and 3 rebounds a game. And Desiree King making her 6th start, plays about 24 minutes a contest, shoots 46% from the floor, 82% at the free throw line, and she averages double figures, 10 points a game. And the 5th starter for UAM, number 30, Taylor East. East averaging 20 minutes a game, shooting 50% from the floor. Now, she's only taken 20 shots, and she's made 10 of those. For Ouachita Baptist, Coach Dallimore in his second season, you've got number 2, Ray Osborne. Osborne is a freshman from Sapulpa, Oklahoma, listed at 5'10", the guard. Also number 5, Maya Gerson, the senior, the 5'6" senior from Latvia, will run the point. Michaela Miller, the 5'6" sophomore out of Little Rock, wearing number 13. Number 10, Jesse Bennett, the 5'3" junior from Leonard, makes the start. And as we mentioned a moment ago, our player to watch, the senior out of Texarkana, Arkansas, 5'11" senior, number 22, Eden Crow. That's the 5 starters for your Ouachita Lady Tigers. Thanks for being with us. Michael Westbrook and the Ouachita Sports Digital Network bringing you senior night activities, which will come up in between games, but it is the final home game of the regular season for both the men and the women. Eden Crow will jump in the center circle for Ouachita, and she'll go up against Taylor East. Nice to see some fans in the stands as well, as Crow will win the opening tip, picked up by Maya Gerson. Crow's going to have Ouachita's first shot. Offensive rebound, put back good. Ray Osborne with the first 2 points of this contest. Had just a brief visit with Coach Dallimore before the game, and unfortunately, I missed the last 2 wins. I told him, I said, you know, I go away and you win a couple of games, you're really playing awesome right now. And he said, well, let's not use the word awesome just yet. Step back 3 on its way, too strong, and a backside rebound will be pulled down by Gerson off of the King miss. Bennett working on Flores. I really appreciate the sentiment there of Dallimore, but his team is playing awesome, and of course he wants them to continue to improve. And so far, so good. As Ouachita scored on their first possession, Monticello did not, and Ouachita has it 17 on the shot clock in their second possession here. Gerson drives, might have had a shot, gives to Miller instead, mid-range jumper, too much. Kizzy the rebound for UAM, and Monticello takes it the other way 1 minute in. Kizzy got around Crow, lost the handle, and out of bounds. Turnover. Well, that looked like potentially an easy 2 for Nina Kizzy, but Crow might have distracted her a little bit. Ball came free and out of bounds. Miller really driving in, then looking to kick out every time. Bennett is open. She fires and poked away by Osborne, and good hustle there by Bennett to track that basketball down. Osborne, nice move, pumps once, goes up. Rebound in the paint by Hawkins. So Ouachita has had several opportunities so far, capitalizing on only 1 shot, but they are out-hustling UAM, it appears, getting some offensive rebounds and second chance looks early on. Eventually that can wear down a defense. You keep getting those opportunities. Shot will not go for Desiree King. Miller back the other way with it for the Tigers. Needs some help. Finds Bennett. Mentioned it in the open, worth mentioning again. Ouachita scored 102 points, defeating Southern Arkansas 102-86, February the 20th. And it was the first time since the 2016-17 season that Ouachita went over the 100-point mark. Foul on Taylor Flores, her first. I want to get a little more specific about that. It was a game here at Ouachita on January the 5th. It was just into the new year of 2017 when Ouachita defeated Northwestern 101-92. I remember that game well, as that one goes past Bennett. She cannot hold on to the strong pass. That was just my probably third Ouachita women's game to announce that year since I started in 2016, and that was a good game. Still 2-0 our score. UAM is launching from outside quite often, not connecting. And UAM so far not able to hit from the floor. Having taken just 3 shots, they've had a couple of turnovers. Ouachita's 1 for 5. Gerson off the screen, bounce pass to Crow, layup good. Easy give and go there. Looked like Stockton and Malone. And so Crow has her first 2 to go along with 2 from Osborne on the first possession. There's Osborne with a steal, and she's on the move. Ouachita up 4-0. Defender, Kizzy picks her up, gives to Miller, who lost it. And that's Kizzy taking it away. Now Kizzy working on Miller, working on 3 Ouachita players, in fact, and a jump ball. Ouachita won the opening tip, and so the possession arrow belongs to UAM. And we'll see subs here. Kaylin and Lauren Wright will both check in for Ouachita. There was also a sub for UAM. It looks like Lauren Klein is in the game. Inbounds goes to Flores. So Bennett able to get a break. And Osborne also taking a seat as well. Another turnover on UAM. That was Hawkins just threw that pass a little too high. Crow scoring a moment ago will go on the drive against Bolton and too high off the glass. UAM comes down with it. 4-0 our score, nearly 4 minutes in to the opening quarter from Bill Vining Arena. UAM is 0 for 3 from three-point range. They've got 3 rebounds. Ouachita has 5, 2 of those coming on the offensive glass. Drive to the baseline by Kizzy, goes up. We got an offensive foul call. Shot missed, wouldn't have counted anyways. Kaylin Wright stands in and takes the charge. The junior transfer from Wiley, Texas, out of Connors State College. Miller crosses over a defender, goes up against another defender and has the layup. She slow played that at the three-point line, kind of just slowly dribbling up the court and then put on the afterburners. We've got a timeout with 5:40 to go in the opening quarter, and UAM hadn't found the scoreboard yet. It's Ouachita 6, Monticello nothing. We're back in a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
It's an ordinary day. Stephanie's driving home from school, like she does every day. Since she's almost home, she takes a quick glance at her phone, like she does every day. She arrives safely, like she does every day. It's another ordinary day. But then, something out of the ordinary happens. Distracted driving kills.
.540 to go in the opening quarter. 6-0 is our score. Ouachita has the lead on Arkansas Monticello as first-year head coach Markel Cox taking a timeout, realizing that he's gone nearly half a quarter of play and his team has not scored yet. Haven't had a lot of opportunities because of turnovers. Good defense from Ouachita in the early going as well. And so Ouachita will come out of the break a little bit quicker than Monticello, and they'll have Gerson, Crow, Miller, and then the Wright twins on the floor as well. That's the 5 for Ouachita. Monticello basketball. They've got Hawkins and Kizzy, who will bring the ball up the court. Lauren Klein on the floor. Taylor Flores. And Crow almost had a steal. Gerson's going to get down on the hardwood, knock the ball free, and a kick ball is called. Let's see, it should have been, yep, they got it right. It was a kick ball against UAM as Tyranny Bolton was down on the hardwood trying to come up with the loose ball. Ouachita taking their time here. Wright over to Wright. That's Kaylin with it. Kaylin drives in, lost it. And a dive for it is going to stay with Ouachita. Yep. That is out off of Hawkins. And so the shot clock is at 8. We will have a sub here. Brittany Williams, the freshman from Little Rock, will come in. Good hustle there by Wright, but she's going to be called for the foul, reaching in from behind there on Klein. And the whole double take thing, I got to make sure I get the Wright sister. First foul on Ouachita here in this first quarter with 4:57 to go. That's a great sign. Let's see, they've got Gerson with one. Did they call that on Gerson? We'll have to check on that. Go over those, looking at those standings in a minute. Again, the top 2 seeded teams will have an opening round bye. Kizzy able to get her first 2 points of the contest, a baseline jumper. Miller a high dribble out to right, fakes her defender. Good recovery by Flores, however. Gerson's up high. She'll shoot and hit. Maya Gerson connects from downtown. 9-2, Ouachita, nearing 4 minutes to play in the first. Bolton gives to King off of a screen, gets caught in the air, kicks it back out. Flores, 3, good. And Taylor Flores hits from downtown. It's the first 3-point basket from UAM after several misses in the opening going. Nobody can catch up to Michaela Miller, who just went right to the rim for an easy layup. And Michaela Miller has a pair of layups for 4 points. Ouachita 11, Monticello 5. And a 3 will not go. Just short from King. She was left open. Looked like Ouachita just kind of backed up for just a minute, long enough to give her a decent shot. Blocking foul underneath. And we're going to have subs from both sides. Foul on King, her first. Eden Crow is back in, as is Ray Osborne. You've got Bennett, Gerson on the floor. And you've got Wright, Lauren Wright. Two free throws for Wright, one more. 10 of 13 at the free throw line this season, 76%. One of 2 for Lauren. We mentioned it in January. The GAC put the policy in place starting with the February games that the home team players could invite up to 4 people to come to the game. So we got a decent little crowd here, and it's good to see. And they've got a lot to be excited about right now on a 12-5 advantage. But there's Ouachita fouling underneath. And it goes on Bennett, her first. Second team foul will send Taylor Flores to the free throw line. Kenzie Schillmoller is going to come into the game. Freshman out of Bedford, Texas. Free throw up and in with one more coming for Flores, who is a perfect 6 of 6 this season at the free throw line. 2 for 2 for Flores. Aaron Hawkins back in. And Nina Kizzy will take a seat. So Gerson up top, she's got Crow underneath. Crow's going to set a screen, and now the offense gets moving here. Crow cutting through, one dribble, up and in with a foul. Eden Crow in control there, going to the rim, drew the contact and got the basket to go. And she's just about going to hit that every time whenever she gets that kind of look. I believe they put the foul on Taylor East, number 30. Crow is able to get the shot to go. Recently, Crow was able to break into the top 10 all-time in rebounds in her Ouachita career. A good milestone for her. Crow and Gerson, the two seniors on this team. Fadeaway shot, missed it short. Good block out and rebound from Ray Osborne. And she is quickly down the court. Wide open is Gerson. She hit a three earlier, not this time. Bennett almost had a rebound, but instead it's off of Bennett, and it'll go to UAM with 2:31 to go in the first. Gerson is out, and Miller is back in. Miller with 4 points so far, a couple of layups. Mentioning those standings a minute ago, so it's going to go by win percentage. You've got Henderson at 5-5, a 500 mark. Ouachita at 2-3, a 400 mark. So, you know, win here, and you get that winning percentage up quite a bit. And of course, you still have the big matchup against Arkansas Tech, which will be pretty daunting going on the road to Russellville, but it can be done. And back-to-back wins for Ouachita would put them above 500 going into that conference tournament. Bennett called for her second foul as the first free throw misses. One more for Klein, able to hit one of two. So a three-pointer from UAM, a couple of free throws. They have really, I think, only hit, one, maybe two-point baskets? Takeaway there. 15-8, our score, nearing 2 minutes to go in the first. Hard drive in. Crow took some contact. And Miller, a traveling violation on UAM, so it will be Ouachita basketball. It's one of those where I thought, they're not going to call a foul, are they? They didn't. Travel on Arkansas, Monticello, and Ouachita has it back. 6 of 13 from the floor for Ouachita, shooting 46% in the opening frame. Bennett pumps, strives, stuck. And back out up top, Schillmoller got it to go. A three for McKenzie. The freshman hits a big basket, making it 18-8. Now, Ouachita has only taken 4 3-pointers, but they've made 2 of them, 50%. Wild hook shot misses. Crow easily has that rebound. Looking for some help, finds Miller down the floor. And now Miller works it back around. Drive in Osborne, can she get it to go? Yes! Ray Osborne, the contact and the foul and the basket. Did it all there and going to the line for an and one at 20-8 now, Ouachita. Biggest lead of the game. Second foul on East, 5th team foul. Bennett is out. And Osborne can't get the free throw to go. Osborne, Gerson, Crow, Miller on the floor, and also Schillmoller, who hit that three a little while ago. Flores beating Schillmoller. Double team comes over, and we're going to have a foul underneath on the low block. That is a shooting situation there. 4th team foul on Ouachita, but Flores is in the act of shooting, so she will go to the line for 2. Lauren Wright is in. Osborne is out. Kaylin Wright is in. Schillmoller is out. I would think there would have to be some level of for Dallimore that you say, you're going to put one of the Wright sisters in, you put the other one in just to give you 2/5 of the floor that knows each other so well, 40% out there, and then they've had time to play with their teammates as well, and I would think that could be a pretty good combination. Gerson back to Wright. Tries to drive, not a lot there. Gives it off to Kaylin. Kaylin, a lot of contact. I don't know how there wasn't a foul there. Got her own rebound, goes back up, rejected. And that one able to get the ball, I think, was Hawkins, but along the way there was some contact. Down to 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Almost a carry there by Kizzy. A look into the paint. Crow stays straight up with Bolton. Pass intended for Crow. She's able to get it, freeze some space, and got the easy two. Good job of Crow there. Had a pretty good look on either side of the glass and decided to back up and go to that left side. 3 seconds. Does Monticello realize that they don't? 2-1, they're out of time. Did not have recognition of the clock there, Nina Kizzy. And that brings us to the end of 1 quarter of play. It was all Ouachita. They lead 22-9 against UAM. We're back here in just a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. After 1 quarter of play, 22-9, Ouachita leads UAM right on a 3. Can't get that one to go, and Kizzy has the rebound. UAM 2 of 9 from the floor. Ouachita was 9 of 18. Pretty good recipe for success. You shoot 50% each quarter of play. We'll see if that'll hold this quarter, as that shot doesn't go for Klein of UAM, and a rebound by Gerson. So 40% from three-point range. They were 2 of 5, but a couple of big three-pointers. Out rebounding UAM in the first quarter, 11-8. Here's Crow, mid-range jumper off the back of the rim, and a fight for the loose ball, something Ouachita did really well in the first. They're going to call a foul there on Wright, it looks like, reaching over. Foul on Lauren Wright, her first. Chris Babb up here with me a moment ago. He just does it all. Got my my monitor working for me. He is so good with technology, that Chris Babb. But you know what he did that was so amazing today? We've come to the last game of the regular season at home, and he realized I still had the plastic covering on my face shield. And that, my friends, is why I had a blurry view for several weeks. So thank you, Chris, for figuring that out for me. 22-9, a minute into the second quarter, and a couple of quick fouls in the second by Ouachita, something they didn't do much in the first. So got to be careful of that, or UAM will be going to the line for a while. Poked free from behind, picked up by Gerson, and Ouachita looking to move. Double team on Gerson, goes past both of them in the paint, kicked away. No kick ball called, and it's going to stay with Ouachita anyways. Officials didn't have a good view of that, I don't think, or they should have stopped play for the kick. Miller looking to inbound. And right through the hands of Wright. She was momentum going one way, couldn't hold on to it. Turnover for Ouachita. Second quarter starting a little bit slower than what Ouachita wants. Now, in some ways, the first quarter started a little bit slow. Ouachita was 1 for their first 5. for finishing the quarter strong. 9 of 20 now. We've got a foul underneath, and that's going to go on Michaela Miller, her first. Third foul on Ouachita, just a minute and a half in. Monticello brings Taylor East and Taylor Flores back. Kizzy at the line. She's got 2 points. And can't get that one to go. 4 of 7 at the free throw line for UAM so far. Ouachita's been there 4 times, making 2 attempts. Coach Cox giving some instruction over near his bench to Hawkins. 1 more free throw for Kizzy. And so she goes 1 of 2, 3 points now. Kizzy again was perfect at the free throw line coming into this game. So all of her points at the line here, 3 of 4 now for the contest. So her first free throw miss of the year. A drive by Osborne out to Gerson. Hit earlier in the game from that same spot, not this time. And a strong rebound from Hawkins. As Gerson will step up to pick her up around the 3-point line with 8 minutes to play in the second. Ball goes to King. King freed up off of the screen, drops it in. Desiree King, a little step back move to get some space. Just rolled it off the front of the rim and in. Right back the other direction. A foul will be called as Osborne made her way to the rim. And the foul really saved probably an easy layup. What do we got here? That should have been, she was shooting, right? Well, Ouachita sure thought she was in the act of shooting. I mean, she's driving to the basket. Maybe not. Called on the floor against Hawkins, her first. So Crow is going to drive to the baseline. Some help comes over. So they swing it around up top. Gerson again. Not that time. Offensive board. Now Crow about 12 feet out, 14 feet maybe, and she can't get it to go either. 2 looks that time for the Tigers, no points, and UAM can get this thing back down to single digits. Ouachita's held a double-digit lead for the better part of the last 5 or 6 minutes of game action, but a traveling violation on UAM. Second time they've done that in this contest. We'll give it back to Ouachita. We've got a sub here as Brittany Williams, freshman out of Little Rock, has just checked back in for the Lady Tigers. You've got Kaylin Wright, Michaela Miller, Maya Gerson, and Ray Osborne joining Brittany Williams out there. And you've got Flores and Kizzy on the floor, along with King for UAM and Klein and East. Miller looks to drive to the baseline, pull up, too strong. Rebound. That's a foul? Interesting, okay. So Klein went down to get the rebound, and a foul called on Osborne. 4th team foul on Ouachita. It's the first on Osborne. We've got a break with 6:57 to play in the second. 22-12 our score. Ouachita leads Arkansas Monticello. Back in a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. First of 2 games here tonight on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. Michael Westbrook with you. Thanks for being along with us. The Arkansas Monticello men's team, best in the league, technically tied with SAU, but a very good team. We've seen them play, and we know what they're about. And they'll be coming up next against Ouachita, so make sure you stick around for that one as well. And, of course, they're trying to see if they can't win the Eastern Division, but they are currently tied with Southern Arkansas, and the Mule Riders tonight are welcoming in Arkansas Tech. So Tech kind of sitting at the bottom of those standings. We'll see what happens in that one. In the women's standings, Arkansas Tech number 1, Harding 2, Henderson 3, Ouachita 4, Southern Arkansas 5, and Monticello 6. Back to play again, 22-12 the score. Ouachita by 10, a steal up top, taken down by Osborne, but then what happened after that? Not good. Well, it looked like Osborne, if she had stayed to her feet, might have had an easy breakaway layup, but did what she could just to get the ball out in front, and Kaylin Wright couldn't come up with it. So the sides will trade turnovers, give it back to UAM. 4 fouls in the second quarter from Ouachita, 1 from Monticello. And offensive foul is going to be the call. That was underneath, away from the basketball against Taylor East. She'll have to come out of the game. That's her third. Brings Bolton back in. Boy, yeah, Ouachita is stuck here right now. It was 22-9 at the end of the first, and Lady Tigers have gone 3.5 minutes, haven't scored. Gerstone will try to change that with the short-range jumper, and about a 10-footer from Gerstone does indeed go. She now has 5 points. The senior out of Latvia. We got a traveling violation on Arkansas Monticello, so there's no getting away with that one today. They've called several so far. Gerstone averaging 14 points a game, got 5 so far. Miller averaging 20 points a game, is yet to, actually a couple of layups, but yet to hit really outside, and she's not on the floor right now. One big factor we've talked about this year with Ouachita, and we've only seen them just a handful of times, so haven't got to see it fully play out. Kickball there. They did get that one. Is the fact that last year Coach Dallimore in his first year had only 8 players. And there was not a lot you could do with that. And this year he's got a big team, a deep bench, can call on a lot of players. Entry pass goes to Williams. She'll spin, go up, blocked away. Offensive board by Crow. Doesn't get the roll. It's still loose and saved. Inbounds there by Kizzy. Good job of Kizzy to toe the baseline and not to go out. Hawkins works it down to Klein. She drives. Back out to Flores now. Fading 3. Good. Taylor Flores hits a big basket. And for Flores, averaging only 5 points a game. Well, she's already got 8 in this one. Foul on Arkansas Monticello on Kizzy. Second foul on Kizzy, third foul against Monticello in the second quarter. Going back to Flores for a minute, just averaging 5 points a game, already has 8. Got to stop her. And that's going to be out of bounds off of Ouachita. Keep you up to date with other games going on in the Great American Conference. Coming up at halftime, we'll have a scoreboard update for you. 3 from the corner for Klein is an air ball, and it's tracked down by Gerstone. Gerstone needing some help. Will find Osborne around her defender and has the easy layup. Good job of Osborne to be on the move once she caught that basketball. Found a seam to the lane for the 2. 26-15 our score. Crow able to get that one. And it's going to be all Crow. Anybody going to stop her? Yep, poked free. Knocked away by Flores. Good job of Flores stepping over there at the last minute. Ryan York wants to know on our YouTube channel if Bates Yoakum is working the game. I saw him roaming around a little bit earlier. Let us know you're watching. We want to hear from you. Drive in, finds Osborne underneath. Basket +1 coming. Off the Brown assist. Hey, Brown, we've not seen just a lot of her this year. And so Osborne now leading her team with 8 points. Able to get that one to go as well. Strong performance here from Osborne in this first half. Her numbers this season, 4 points a game and 3.7 rebounds a game. She's making her 4th start. And our score now at 29-15, 14-point advantage. And we've got another offensive foul against Monticello. Second foul on King, a 4th team foul against the Cotton Blossoms. Again, it was 22-9 after the first quarter, and then Ouachita went the first 3.5 minutes of the second quarter without a basket when Maya Gerson finally hit, and now Ouachita has outscored Monticello in the second, 7-6. Good move by Brown. She's fouled and going to the line. Fifth team foul against Monticello. And I think UAM's just taking a timeout. So a full timeout for Monticello. We'll take it as well. 3:55 to go in the second, 29-15. Ouachita leading it at the line. When we come back, this is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
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 How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Monticello, they've had to use a couple here in this opening first half to try to slow down the momentum of Ouachita. And we had the whistles from the officials, and they kind of held everybody up again. They did that on the last time out as well. So I'm not sure if there's like a maybe they were off on their timing, perhaps, on how long you get in between for a break. I guess it was. I saw the ref kind of pat herself and say, my fault there. So I think they got everybody ready now, and Brown's going to go to the line. Brown playing in just her second game. And her first free throw of the season there, a miss. This is Ouachita's largest lead of the game, 29-15. Winners of 2 straight, defeating Southern Arkansas and Henderson, as Brown is able to get that one to go. And actually for Brown, her first point as a member of Ouachita Baptist, her first college point. In fact, the freshman able to get one at the line for that first point. Crow, another rebound, and she is starting to really clean up the glass in a strong way. Gerstone called for the travel. Not allowing that step at all. Numbers for Crow, talking about her a minute ago, 7 points, 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 1 at the free throw line. She's got 5 rebounds, 1 on the offensive glass, 4 on the defensive side. Flores, long 3, just missed it short, and an offensive rebound as Kizzy able to come up with it and put back in, also by Nina Kizzy there. 5 for her. At 30-17 now, Ouachita into traffic goes Brown, lost the basketball. Crow saves her. And Ouachita can start over a bit. Now a drive, cut off. Gerstone's got 15 to shoot. Works it back over to Brown. As Crow circles through the middle, they'll give to Bennett. Bennett now got to hurry. Down to 7. Bounce pass underneath. Circus shot doesn't go for Brown. Fading away. And it's out of bounds as Klein couldn't handle it. Shot clock resets to 20 for Ouachita. Both sides scoring 8 points here in the second quarter for Ouachita to maintain that 13-point lead that they had at the end of one. Got to hurry. Finally into Bennett. Brown guarded by Klein. Brown looks to take her on the dribble, fakes the pass, goes to the rim and in. Wow. Well, the fake worked. If she was going to pass it, that was going to be a backwards pass, basically. Her teammate was back up behind the three-point line at a different angle. Good finish there by Brown. Bennett knocks the ball free out of bounds. Now the largest lead of the game for Ouachita at 15, nearing 2 to play until halftime. Bennett will take a seat. And Lauren Wright out of Connor State is in. Kizzy guarded by Brown, and that's going to be a turnover on UAM. Bad pass there intended for Flores, who was cutting in. Ball behind her. Talking about those recent Ouachita wins. Just what a tough year for Lady Tigers. Had those first 5 games canceled, then had another 5 canceled. Then a 3-point loss to Harding, 66-63. Foul on Ouachita will be the team's 5th, and so free throws coming here. On Brown. After all those cancellations, finally February 6th, February 8th, February 12th, able to play 3 games. Ouachita losing all of those. That taken on at the time ranked 18th in the nation, Arkansas Tech on February 12th. That was a 5-point loss. Then the postponements and the cancellations again because of the weather. And then a 102-86 win over Southern Arkansas and a 69-66 win against Henderson. (32-19). Ouachita with a big lead. They got the first 2 points of the game. Then both sides kind of stalled out a little bit and a little bit of a slow start. Then Ouachita kind of took a big advantage, and they haven't looked back yet. Crow goes off the glass this time and in. And Eden Crow with 9 first-half points, a strong first-half performance for the senior who averages 15.8 a game. Averaging a double-double, in fact, and headed towards one now, and now a steal as she steps into the passing lane and can't finish. However, her teammates are there to back her up. The second effort won't go. Crow towering over everybody will go off the glass. 3 looks at the glass for Ouachita, 2 for Crow, and she capitalizes on the second one. Now has 11 points with 1 minute to go until halftime. Good job there by Crow to get the steal. Her teammates stayed with her. Able to follow her shot. Now Kizzy drives, poked free again, picked up and falling down. Crow will come up with another steal as Bolton just fell down. She might be hurt. Crow tries to get it up the floor to Brown, and it's a turnover. Brown was looking for some contact and just kind of couldn't hold on to the basketball. And about 7.5, 8-second difference between our game and our shot clock here. About 7. So UAM trying to hold it as long as they can. Hawkins with Osborne guarding. Now Hawkins drives, falls down, ball out of bounds, and it will be a turnover. Turn the shot clock off, and Ouachita will have 12.2 to get one good look before the break. Up 36-19. Gerson back in. Day Brown is out. Got time here if you get Crow down the floor to get something inside, but she's kind of on a slow jog right now. It is going to be Crow. She is going to get close on the block. Shot won't go. Flores the rebound, and that will send us to halftime. Strong first half performance from the Ouachita Lady Tigers. They lead 36-19 against Arkansas Monticello, and some of those fans that we talked about who are able to be in attendance are standing and cheering on Ouachita to the locker room for the break. 36-19 the score. Ouachita leads Monticello. We'll take an extended break here, and when we come back, we'll give you some scores from around the Great American Conference. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Here at Ouachita, we're a highly residential campus, and a part of residential life is fostering a sense of home and community within Ouachita's campus, which plays a big part into Ouachita being able to help develop the students socially, academically, spiritually, physically.
Here at Ouachita, Residence Life has the mission of creating a safe and Christ-centered learning environment. Our desire as Residence Life is that we are able to build and help you really build a community here at Ouachita. We really want to help students transition well into college and just give them the resources that they need to be successful, to build community with their friends in the building.
I love that Ouachita is a smaller campus because it's allowed me to be involved in as much as I want to be involved in. There have been so many opportunities, and I haven't, struggled to find a place to be involved, whether it be theater or music or even just playing on an intramural, soccer team. I've got to do all these things that I might not have had the opportunity to do somewhere else.
Ouachita is positioned in the foothills of the Ouachita Mountains, and so we offer a lot of great outdoors experiences right here on campus. You can go down to Spear Pavilion, which is right along the Ouachita River, and then we offer hikes where we leave right from campus and do a little bit of hiking together, and then just go a short 20-minute distance and go to Lake DeGray, where there's hiking, mountain biking, great places to set up a hammock and do homework or chat with friends.
Ouachita has a lot of different things for students to be involved with. We have over 50 different clubs and organizations, and those range from student senate to service organizations to social clubs to academic organizations. It doesn't really matter what interest you have. There's going to be some way to find a group or an event on campus that kind of caters to those.
I thought that it might have been hard coming to college and struggling to find people outside of what I'm studying, but at Ouachita it's been so easy to be friends with all different kinds of people. You don't ever feel like you're not a part of campus. Everybody cares so much for one another, and they want everybody to feel at home and like a family, and that's really what Ouachita is.
Welcome back at halftime from Bill Vining Arena. A big first half lead, a strong performance so far in the early going from Ouachita. They lead 36-19, and that was after they had a 22-9 lead at the end of one quarter. So they outscored UAM 14-10 in the second quarter. And again, as we talked about in the first quarter, you shoot 50% from the floor, you outscore your opponent, well, then that's a recipe for success. And so in back-to-back quarters, Ouachita has done just that. And again, the halftime score is 36-19. Let's first take a look at some of the numbers, and then we'll take another break. And actually, let's give you these scores in the GAC. Arkansas Tech at Southern Arkansas, and it is very close there. Tech leads 39-35 at halftime. That's an interesting game just because of the standings and where SAU is at in all of this at 2-8. Nobody's going to catch Tech, but it could make some things a little bit closer in the middle if SAU gets a win there. Harding is at Henderson, and it is Henderson that has the lead, 36-31. I think I misspoke a minute ago. It's actually SAU with the lead on Tech. And Southern Nazarene at Southwestern. Southern Nazarene has a 1-point advantage, 29-28. Oklahoma Baptist leads East Central by the score of 35-33. And every game, every time, I have to look at the standings and go, okay, well then what does that mean? Who's not playing? And Northwestern is not playing tonight. They are not playing against Southeastern, so that's the one women's game that has been canceled for tonight. That's the conference standings, and again, it looks very likely that Ouachita could be hosting an opening round game next week we'll have plenty of time in the second half maybe to look over that a little bit more as far as what the conference tournament actually looks like, because it is so much different than before, where for the last decade it's just been, we're going to Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and we'll be there on these 4 days, and we're going to play a lot of basketball, but not the case. Now it's going to start on March 1st. The men and women going to rotate days and play all the way through, so look for some more Ouachita basketball coming up next week. Let's take another break. When we come back, we will go over a complete rundown of the first half stats. All of that still to come here at halftime. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
When we talk about communications and media, we're talking about a wide variety of fields, because communications really relates to anybody, anywhere. And we tackle everything from interpersonal communication, group communication, how to make presentations, to studying mass communications and media. And our students are really interested in going out and being media producers. And one of the first things you have to do is to understand the media before you can adequately and efficiently communicate messages yourself through your job, whatever you choose to do. When you're here your very first semester, you can become involved in the Ouachita Signal, the Ouachitonian Yearbook, the Online Signal, the Photo Lab, visual media production, sports media production. There's a lot of different areas to get involved with. These students publish our printed publications, and they also have a chance for continuing education by attending such events like the Arkansas College Media Convention and the College Media Association Convention in New York City. You don't have to wait in line till your junior or senior year to do hands-on learning. You'll get that experience your very first semester, even if you have no previous experience. We have graduates who are working with television stations, either as an anchor, as a producer, as a videographer. We have students in advertising and public relations firms where they're creating strategic plans for organizations and businesses. Our students learn in the classroom and outside of the classroom through their practical experience, but we also enjoy fellowshipping and becoming close as a family. Faculty often have students over to their house for Christmas parties or spring parties or to celebrate graduations. Our students form friendships that will last a lifetime. Over the past 3 decades, some of the most important people in my life and the life of my husband, since we teach together, are students and faculty and staff that we've come in contact with at Ouachita. We're excited about what we have to offer in the communications department at Ouachita, and we want you here to share that with us.
What a great promo there for the Ouachita Communications Department here in Arkadelphia, where we're working with a lot of students tonight who are getting a great opportunity in sports media production. At the halftime break, 36-20, our score. The Ouachita Tigers leading Monticello, leading them in a strong way. Very good first half. Ouachita goes 15 of 38 from the floor, good for just about 40%, 2 of 7 from three-point range. Now that number dropped off a bit. They were 2 of 4 at one time, so the threes haven't fallen at just the highest clip so far, but they haven't needed to shoot that many either. They're 4 of 7 at the free throw line, and that's 57%. 20 rebounds, 8 of those coming on the offensive glass, which is a really strong first half number. I imagine Coach Dallimore is very pleased with that type of number. The game has not been tied. Ouachita has led for the entire first half. So they have led for 19 minutes and 41 seconds after they scored their first basket 19 seconds into the game. Their largest lead is where we are at right now, 16 points. And they have really held a double-digit lead for most of this game, in fact, once it got to that point. Only 7 turnovers, and I'm going to give you all of the UAM numbers in just a moment, but I'll go ahead and give you that number now to put it in perspective. 16 turnovers for Monticello, and then only 7 for Ouachita. That's a huge difference. You're talking about 9 more possessions just right there. Bench points, 7 for Ouachita. And here's the numbers for Monticello. 5 of 17 from the floor, 29%. 3 of 10 from three-point range. 7 of 10 at the free throw line. That has been a bright spot for them in this one, shooting 70% at the free throw line. 17 rebounds, so Ouachita is winning that category as well, and only one offensive rebound credited to Ouachita in the first half. Excuse me, to Monticello in the first half. And they did have 16 defensive rebounds. But that's going to happen. They're going to have probably more defensive rebounds than Ouachita because Ouachita is taking more shots, and UAM is turning the ball over more. Again, as we said a minute ago, Ouachita's led the entire way, so UAM has not had the lead. And we mentioned those 16 turnovers, only one assist as well for Monticello. So that's a huge number. 7 assists compared to just 1. Ouachita moving the ball a little bit better. And let's look at some of the individual numbers now. Let's start first for Monticello, as they are led by Taylor Flores, who has 8 points. Kizzy has 6, and Desiree King has 2. When we look at the individual numbers for Ouachita, it looks like this. Osborne has 9, Brown with 3, Gerson with 5. Miller has 4, 3 for Schillmoller. She hit a 3, her only shot that she took. Crow has really played a strong first half. She had 11 points, a lot of those coming around the rim, but she's also hit a couple of mid-range jumpers. Lauren Wright has 1 point, that coming at the free throw line. And don't forget that it is senior night here tonight on a Thursday, and so we're going to have the honoring of our men's and women's seniors in between games. So make sure that you do stay tuned for that as well. And, again, those are the – actually, let me give you a few more numbers here from Ouachita real quick. I was also just checking my notes here. We're going to have David Sharp, the athletic director, at halftime of the men's game, so you'll want to stay tuned for that as well. Want to look at a few other numbers. Bennett played 10 minutes in the first half, did not score. Miller had 4 points in 14 minutes of action. Osborne played 15 minutes, had 9 points. Told you Crow had 11, but she also had 6 rebounds. Gerstone had 5 points and 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And so just a couple other numbers to add to what we gave you a moment ago. About 4 minutes until the start of the second half, so we'll take a break here. And when we come back, it is Ouachita basketball taking on Monticello for the second half. 36-20 our score. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
At the time, I just wasn't thinking. I used social media to vent. I wish I would have thought about the effects of scaring people. I didn't mean for that to happen. People took it as a terrorist threat. The university got shut down. I got arrested by the FBI. And now, I don't know what my future looks like. I search my name on the web almost every day and look at the stuff. It's not going away. Think before you post.
Hey, a reminder, folks, that a Tigerette Lady Tiger basketball reunion is in the works. If you are a past player, then we want to hear from you here at Ouachita. For more information, take a look at the Facebook page. It's the Ouachita Baptist University Women's Basketball Alumni page. If you didn't catch all that, well, just rewind back on the YouTube and you can hear it again. But you can probably also just contact someone in the Ouachita Athletic office if you needed to, the alumni office. Somebody will get you where you need to go. We want you to be a part of that. But again, it's the Ouachita Baptist University Women's Basketball Alumni page for a Tigerette Lady Tiger basketball reunion that is in the works. And so if you are a past player, we want to make sure we connect with everybody, anybody that's out there that wants to connect with us, and we want to connect with you as well. So again, find that on the Ouachita Baptist University Women's Basketball Alumni page on Facebook. And if you are an alumni watching, well, you're happy about what your team is doing right now, because this Ouachita team is playing really, really strong. Back-to-back wins, and they're up by 16 against Arkansas Monticello as we start the second half from Bill Vining Arena. Michael Westbrook here with you, along with the crew from the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. And UAM has the basketball first to get things started. It will be a Desiree King layup. So King with 4 points, and Crow goes right back, says, okay, well, let me get 2 more. She's got 13 now, and that was really quick to get the lead back at that halftime mark of where it was at 16. I would expect UAM to come out a little bit stronger here in the second half. Flores might take a few more shots, and Flores has 8 points in the first half. Crow, dangerous pass in the middle. Flores is able to take it away from Osborne. You have Osborne, Miller, Bennett, Crow, and Gertzone on the floor for Ouachita to start the second half. Very strong move there from Nina Kizzy. Took it right to the rack. Almost lost it, but strong move to finish. And now Miller is going to be called for an offensive foul. A little bit out of control. Michaela Miller trying to go to the rim. Well, UAM going to roll the ball to half court and wanting every second that they can get in the second half to try to overcome the deficit. That's interesting. It only takes about, 3 seconds off the clock maybe when no one's guarding you, but they saw that as a value. Well, that was kind of a bit of a pinball situation there. No one could really come down with the ball cleanly. Ouachita comes up with it, and Maya Gertzone's open in the corner for 3. So Maya Gertzone capitalizes on being open. She now has 8. UAM doing this again. Rolling the ball up the court. I think Coach Dallimore was asking the ref about, okay, is that allowed? Right? Not really allowed, I don't think is what he was asking, but he might have been wondering about the clock, if it was supposed to start or not. I guess Ouachita will have to get up and guard, which personally I don't think that'll work out very well for Washington or for UAM if they roll the ball up the court. Ouachita's eventually going to guard them, and then that makes it even harder. A steal there after Osborne scored a moment ago. It's 2-on-1. Miller gives it to Gertzone. Oh, she couldn't finish. Got it back. Missed again. Bennett gets the rebound. And that was just a lost opportunity. Miller doing the wise thing there, trying to help her teammate out. Would have got an assist, but Gertzone just couldn't get the basket to go. And it ends up being a turnover on Ouachita after all that. So Lauren Klein is in for Arkansas Monticello. Brittany Bolton on the floor. You got Flores, Kizzy, and also King. A drive opposite of the screen. Open. Shot won't go for Kizzy. A little too hard, and a rebound by Osborne. Now to Gertzone. Does not dribble this time, and they call her for the travel. Looked like about 2 steps. And if that's the NBA, well, no call there, but it's not. Still a strong lead here for Ouachita, 43-24. And the clock's not rolling because they rolled the ball up the floor again. And now we got it going again. So I think, again, Ouachita might have to come out there and just do a little extra guarding. And one opportunity coming for UAM. Well, yeah, they were all over Desiree King that time, holding on to her. She still went strong to the rim, got the basket. Second team foul on Ouachita here in this third. And the foul on Wright. So 2 fouls on Wright now. Free throw up and in for King. It is somewhat quiet here in Bill Vining Arena, even though Ouachita has a big lead. The one thing you just really, really miss, and every home team is feeling this, is your student body. You miss having your students. And of course, you've got some of the men's players here, but they're getting ready for their game and focused on that and just watching basketball. They don't want to exert too much energy, screaming and yelling. They probably wouldn't appreciate that anyway. So, you just don't have the fans standing. You don't have the lower level where sometimes here at Ouachita, you could have fans, if they had wanted to, reach out and touch a player. They're that close once they get on that lower level on the court. There's Gerstone with a reverse layup, making up for the miss a little while ago, and she's into double figures with 10. Been a great player to watch play over the years, and we hope that some way, somehow, family in Latvia have been able to watch as well through our online presence. So a shout out and a hello to them if they are able to listen. Contact, shot missed, offensive rebound. Now a scramble for the loose ball out to Flores. Open, hits. Taylor Flores connects from downtown. She has 11. And this has been a fairly strong third quarter from Monticello, but Ouachita's actually outscored them 9-7 before that three. First team foul on Monticello here in the third. It's against Flores, her second, sending Crow to the line. Crow playing 29.4 minutes of contest in her senior season. That one goes in. Would have really liked to have seen what Crow could have done in a full season when it came to some of those all-time career numbers. Crow gets both to go. 15 points and 6 rebounds for Eden Crow. 17-point advantage. Open shooter, but a drive in. They'll call a traveling violation. Again, they called the 2 steps on Gerstone earlier, so they're going to call the 2 steps there on Nina Kizzy. I believe we will hear from Coach Dallimore at the end of the game as well down on the court, so stay tuned for that. We got a long way to go here, though. Miller was able to drive in, missed the layup. Offensive board for Wright. And now Wright. Blocking foul underneath. See who they call that on, because, yeah, Bolton had her hands up. She was saying it wasn't on her, but King was there for the body contact, and I believe that's 4 on Desiree King. Second team foul on UAM here in this third quarter with 5:34 to go. A bit anticlimactic here as Ouachita has just held a double-digit lead consistently since the early moments of the game. And now we're just seeing more action around the rim where Ouachita has been really strong today in this one. Kaylin Wright is able to get her first 2 points and go onto the line for an and one. Foul on Hawkins, second. Right, good at the line. Got a good shot, that's for sure. A 20-point lead for Ouachita. And again, we mentioned it earlier. The last game was on the road. We didn't have that one for you. And then I missed the last home game against SAU due to the weather last week ago Saturday. And so, a 20-point lead for Ouachita. This is the first time I've seen this in quite some time. It didn't happen a lot last year. And the year prior as well was pretty difficult on the Lady Tigers. It's not just the most high-scoring contest, but Ouachita has just really taken advantage of their opportunities Good shooting percentage in this one. Ouachita's at 42%. Multiple opportunities as well. That's been the key, the offensive rebounding. Wright goes in, misses the shot. She tries to climb the trees there and get a rebound but can't. Instead, she's going to be called for a frustration foul. And that should bring us to the media timeout here in the third. Inside 5 to play. 4:48 to go in the third. It's Ouachita 50, Monticello 30. We are back in a moment. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Getting directions to Ouachita Baptist University.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
All good news right now for Ouachita. They lead 50-30. In case you missed it there at the halftime break, I know some people maybe not tuned in at halftime. Let's make sure we mention once again that the Ouachita women's basketball is having a reunion, and they are looking for all past Tigerette Lady Tiger players. A reunion is in the planning stages, and they want everyone to be involved. We certainly want everyone to be involved. For more information, take a look at the Facebook page. It's Ouachita Baptist University Women's Basketball Alumni. And, again, we want to try to hear from you and get everybody involved. We don't want to miss anybody in that process. So please let us know if you're out there. We want to have you back. 50-30 our score. Flores got a little seam to the lane but could not finish, and Gerson will end up having the basketball bounce her way. Give you a couple of scores here in just a moment as we've got a whistle underneath. We're keeping a fairly close eye on that SAU Tech game. Well, 3 minutes to go in the third, and they are tied at 57. So how about that? That one is really close there. Harding and Henderson playing today. Get you that score. It's Harding 55, Henderson 53. Southwestern leads Southern Nazarene big time now, 61-39. And in the paint was Williams, cannot finish that time. So the GAC says that the Northwestern-Southwestern game, or Southeastern game, would actually start at 8:30 tonight. I don't know if I've missed something there, or if that's not accurate, but maybe Northwestern and Southeastern are indeed going to play tonight. Keep an eye on that for you. They do have the men's game actually listed at 6:30 and the women at 8:30, so maybe they flip-flopped there. Okay, they did. So the men's game is taking place between Northwestern and Southeastern right now, and then the women are going to play afterwards. So I was not aware of that this week. Don't know why they did that. But we do have a full slate of games then on the women's side. Inside 4 to play in the third, and still a 20-point Ouachita advantage. You know, this may be one of those games you go a few more minutes as Miller's shot is too strong. Go a few more minutes, you get a couple of subs, some more minutes, rest some of your starters. Got to travel Saturday to Russellville, take on a good Arkansas Tech team, and, you know, who knows? Get a couple of wins out of the deal and make it 4 in a row going into that conference tournament. Because you got to remember, it's going to be a tough stretch of basketball next week, too, if you're going to advance. You're going to have to play a lot of games. Brown drives on Flores. Blocked shot out of bounds. And no call there, so it'll be Ouachita basketball with plenty of time, 18 on the shot clock. Michaela Miller will check out of the game. So you do have Brittany Williams, a backup in the game. Brown also out there. And I believe that's Schillmoller who's also come back in. Basket there for Maya Gerson. Continues to play well, 12 points now. Right back the other direction goes Nina Kizzy for the 2, and she's into double figures with 10. UAM came into the game averaging 54 points a game. Opponents scoring 73, but as we said up the top of the broadcast, you just not been just a whole lot of data to survey to see what kind of team this UAM team was. Same for Ouachita. Had only played 5 games, a 2-3 record, but certainly playing like a much better team than Arkansas Monticello here in this one. Kizzy drives, will have a foul, reach-in foul, and I believe it's going to be on Brown. It is. Called on Day Brown. Schillmoller will go out. Bennett is back in. And Crow is back in for the final 2 minutes of the third. Bennett just kind of playing with her back to the basketball, almost knocked that one free. On the drive is Hawkins, missed it short. Crow couldn't come up with a rebound, a little out of position. And right back is Hawkins for the basket, her first. Well, Crow did about everything she could there. She's trying to block the shot and then just a little off balance, try to reach up one-handed for the rebound. She's going to pump, drive, spin, caught, tangled up. And the possession arrow is with Ouachita, so Tigers will keep it. Miller wasn't on the bench long. She's back in and will inbound here. Also, Ray Osborne on the floor has had a strong game, 11 points. Giving Crow some space out there. We'll give to Miller. Now over to Gerson. 52-34 as Osborne drives. Ouachita with a big lead. 10 to shoot. Crow. And a blocking foul is going to be called, which will send Eden Crow to the free throw line. Erin Hawkins, her third 14 foul. Certainly seeing Coach Dallimore rotate players in at a pretty frequent pace. Crow will get one more. Crow averaging a double-double this season, 16 and 10. And able to get one of two there. In fact, Crow's got 16 now. And she's got 7 rebounds. So she had the 6 rebounds at halftime. Hasn't really had too many opportunities in the second half to get too many boards. Also gotten to sit a little bit more. Try to get her 3 more for another double-double. Flores will run the offense. She's been a bright spot in this one for the Cotton Blossoms. Double figures, 11 points to go along with 10 from Kizzy and 7 from King. It's basically been those 3. Klein has 1, Hawkins has 2, but Hawkins just got those 2 on the last possession. It did hit, well, looked like it hit the rim. Either way, I guess the ball was out of bounds on Monticello, so it was going to be Ouachita basketball. Guess that could have hit the bottom of the backboard. From my vantage point, it looked like it hit the rim. Inside a minute to go in the third. Maybe 2 more possessions for Ouachita. We'll see how it goes. Crow traveled. And again, if she just been able to have her hold on to her footing a little bit better, I think she would have been able to turn, go right to the basket. But just a turnover there, and there has not been just too many of those for Ouachita in this contest. There's an offensive foul. Gerson gets pushed, and that'll go against Bolton. First foul on Bolton. Gerson sold it well. but Bolton certainly tried to shove her way through there. Crow crosses over into the paint, stops, tries to find Wright. Wright loses the basketball. And a turnover there for Washita. Wright's going to come out of the game, and that will bring Ray Osborne back in. So Coach Dallimore not happy with that possession there for Kaylin Wright. See the Washita men make their way out of the locker room, and they're nice enough to duck below the camera at the other end. Kind of become a little tradition there, I think, to duck under the camera. Up high, Flores, long three, offline. Bennett has the rebound fall into her hands, and at the end of the quarter, that does not count, even if it went in, I don't think. And after three, it's a even bigger lead here for Washita. They lead 53-34. They outscore Monticello by 3 in the third, 17-14, for that commanding 19-point advantage. We will be back in just a moment to start the fourth. This is the Washita Sports Digital Network. Big shout out to Matthew Branch, our technical director, running the operations back inside the Washita production truck. We start the fourth quarter. It's 53-34. What a strong performance this has been from the Washita Lady Tigers. And they're 10 minutes away from their third consecutive victory if they can just close this thing out. And so far, so good. 3 quarters, 3 times Washita has outscored their opponent, 17-14 in that third quarter. So turnover there, actually a foul, and no, it was a turnover. Yet we'll give the ball back to Washita for their first possession, but then the pass from Gerstone to Crow mishandled. Maybe a bit offline with the pass as well. Don't forget we've got the men's game coming up next, and that's going to be a really good game. We know the Washita men play a little bit better at home. They like to grind out some games. And, well, Monticello, we've already seen them here once this year, and they beat Washita, and they're also trying to vie for that Eastern Division GAC championship going into the tournament next week. Bennett is open. Will shoot. Can't get it to go, but an offensive rebound, something that Washita has done all game long, setting up second opportunities. And Eden Crow is able to make UAM pay for giving them another chance. 18 for Eden Crow. Gerson out guarding Flores on the three-point line. That's where Flores likes to shoot, but she'll drive in this time. One-handed floater. Ball poked in the air before Bennett ends up with it. Could not get it to Crow down the floor, and so Washita will slow it down. Miller, maybe not slow it down too much. A layup for Michaela Miller. I'll tell you, that is much improved from a year ago, even earlier in the season. Miller can get to the rim just about anytime she wants to, and she saw an opportunity there, took advantage of it. Cut underneath for Flores. What a strong play. Give Taylor Flores credit there. Perfect pass on the back door. She was kind of falling down. It'll be off of Miller, out of bounds. Day Brown is back in. (57-36). I sound like a broken record, but it's basically been a double-digit lead for almost the entire game. Gerson weaving through traffic. Back out to Bennett. They'll start over. Oh, watch out. Almost threw it away. Day was ready for it, though. She goes all the way to the rim. Missed it. And a rebound by Taylor East. You've still got about 3.5 minutes where you want to maintain this lead, get this thing under 4 minutes maybe before you feel super comfortable with the situation. I mean, I'm comfortable with it. They've had a good lead if they're playing well, but a coach never feels that way. And we've got a foul that will send UAM to the line. Kizzy will go to the line. Kizzy's free throw on the front of the rim and in. According to the board there, foul on Osborne, her second. Well, I'm going to get the second round of the COVID vaccine tomorrow, everybody, so it's be a new era. Can you believe we are almost 1 year to the date, March 11th, when it was announced that COVID-19 was a pandemic, worldwide pandemic, and about 48 hours later, basically the world shut down for quite some amount of time, and we have made it to the end of the regular season home basketball schedule here tonight on February 25th, and I almost can't believe it. A year that has rocked so many people, and we are just so lucky to be where we are at this moment to watch college athletics. Got the best seat in the house. I know the Ouachita Sports Digital Network feels the same way. These college students getting just a wonderful opportunity led by Chris Babb and so many others who have made all of this possible this year. And it's been fun to be here even on such a limited basis. We hope it is more consistent next year. 59-38, Ouachita still holding on to that big lead. Here's East on a long two. Rebound by Miller, and Ouachita's back the other way. Kind of 5-on-4. Bennett into the corner. Three doesn't go. Offensive board. Can he go right back up with it? Osborne's fouled, and will go to the line for two. One more mention while we have a moment. The Tigerette Lady Tiger basketball reunion is in the works. If you're a past player, well, we certainly want to hear from you. For more information, you can take a look at the Facebook page. That's Ouachita Baptist University Women's Basketball Alumni page. And if for some reason you don't get what you need there, call the athletic office, call the alumni office. Somebody will get you the information you need for the reunion that is in the works. Both free throws miss. And I think that's Ouachita basketball, right? It was off of UAM. Off of the foot of UAM. Looked like it from my vantage point. And so it will be Ouachita basketball inbounding underneath their own goal. They catch a break after the missed free throws. And Bennett just ran into some trouble in the corner there. Tried to save it. Gives it out to King now. And here's King for UAM. She's fouled. Her shot did not go. You know what? Yeah, power of replay. Looks like that ball actually probably went off of Brown's foot. I'm looking back on the YouTube channels. The refs actually probably missed that one there. Looks like they did miss it, in fact. Gerson is back in. Kaylin Wright is back in. And so we'll see Ray Osborne take a seat. And Bennett also goes out of the game. Aaron Hawkins on the floor for UAM. King at the line. We'll have one more. Eden Crow going to come back into the game here. Guess they'll let her in after the second free throw. King hits. So Crow is back in. Brittany Williams will go out. And again, you're now down to 6:29. You need to shave a couple more minutes off that clock. You'll probably see a few more subs come into the game. Of course, with the way it has worked for Coach Dallimore, he's been able to get the subs in different spurts of the game and at different times. One sub here, one sub there, enough to where the starters have been pretty rested up. And so you don't have to do just a wholesale sub in 5 players. He's got a couple of backups in the game right now. Third foul on Monticello here in the quarter is going to put Kaylin Wright back to the free throw line, and that is 5 fouls on Desiree King. So Desiree King fouls out of the game, and Wright able to hit. 3 points, 3 rebounds for Kaylin Wright. Make it 4. 61-39. Ouachita with this huge lead. In some ways, you do just wonder what could have been, even if you had gotten the games in the bad weather situation. They had to cancel the game on February the 15th at Southern Arkansas in Magnolia, and then here at home, what was scheduled for February 18th against Harding. You know, you get those two, maybe you get a couple of wins, you're already above 500 coming into this game. Could potentially be riding a 4-game winning streak, but of course, you know, you can't go back and do anything about that. So right now, 2-3 the record for Ouachita, and 1-4 the record for Monticello. Miller in the paint, draws the double team, finds Crow. She'll take on the contact. Got the basket to go on a right-hand hook. Hit on the head along the way, and we'll go to the line for an and one. Might have got popped in the nose, in fact. Hopefully she's okay. Strong performance from Eden Crow. 20 points now, and 7 rebounds, and 4 of 5 at the line. Put that foul on Taylor East, which is her 5th. So 2 players have fouled out for UAM. 21 for Eden Crow. "21 of the team's 64 points. That is a third of the Ouachita points. Yes, I realize 21 times 3 would be 63, so not quite a third at 64, but close enough. And he'll take that. You get 21 from your senior, and then your other senior, Maya Gerstone, has 12, so they've combined for 33 of the team's 64, more than half. Offensive foul, an illegal screen called on Nina Kizzy. Fouls really beginning to add up on UAM with 2 players already out, and Nina Kizzy has just picked up her 4th. Well, the crowd's been watching on hand, just kind of satisfactory here. The way Ouachita's been playing, you kind of lean back in your chair and just take in the game. And again, it's home team only, inviting fans, so you don't have visiting fans in the arena as well, which also kind of creates a little bit more of a quiet atmosphere. Kaylin Wright with the rebound. You don't have to force it here, but she had a wide open layup, couldn't finish. Put back by Miller. Well, just once again, recurring theme tonight, another offensive rebound from the Ouachita Lady Tigers. And, you know, it's probably not just been a whole lot of points, second chance points, but it's been enough to make a difference. That's for sure. In fact, 15 second chance points, and so that's pretty significant in a game like this, where it is 66-41 now, as Miller's going to go right back at it and get another one. There's a basket from UAM at the other end as well, and so Miller with Ouachita's last 4. And nice drive in, and what a move from Kizzy. Kizzy really had a great spin move there and a strong finish. And now, again, if you're Ouachita, 4 minutes left. Points are great, but you want to think about that clock. And we've got a foul. How about that? Strong rebound from Lauren Wright. And then Bolton came in and fouled her. Dr. Casey Modal getting into the stats information for us here and tells us that 2 of the UAM players both have 4 fouls. They have no subs remaining, so could be in a 5-on-4 situation at some point. Media timeout, 3:54 to go. 69-43, 68-43, Ouachita with the lead. We're back in a minute. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Wichita. Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Well, 3:54 to go. You like where you're at if you're a Ouachita fan. They lead 68-43. It's a 25-point advantage. And I would think in the next minute or so, if you don't see them already, you're going to see several more subs come in the game. But you do see the 2 seniors on the floor, Eden Crow and Maya Garcon. At the free throw line is Lauren Wright, also joined on the floor by Ray Osborne, and you have Kaylin Wright out there as well. So that's the 5 on the floor for Ouachita. As the free throw is good for Lauren Wright. A reminder that we do have our senior night festivities taking place in between games, and we will air that here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. It's probably even more so important this year as not everybody could have a large majority of their family and friends here. So we hope you are tuned in. We hope you get to see that moment. And that will be coming up again after the game. And they will recognize not only the women's seniors, but the men's seniors as well. So it's after the women's game, before the men's game. Crow wide open. That's another easy 2. She waited just to make it a little bit more challenging on herself, but got the defender going by and then was wide open. So Crow, strong game in her senior night, a memory she can take with her for a long time. She had a steal in the first half, almost had another one there. Garcon guarding, a little one-handed hook, kind of a one-handed shot from Kizzy, doesn't go. And right back the other direction is Osborne. Garcon open up top and doesn't quite get the roll. Rebound secured by Hawkins. Hawkins, one of them, playing with 4 fouls right now. Flores is going to fire from long range, and she's able to hit. So you know UAM is going to go quick. They want quick possession. So if you're Ouachita, just slow this thing down here. 2:45 to go, commanding lead. Run that shot clock down. Got to be part of the strategy. We do have 2 players set to check back in. One could take Garcon's place. One could take Crow's place. So it might be a moment where you're going to get the seniors out of the game at the same time for an ovation. I hope they get that chance. Maybe they want to stay on the court, though. So we will see how that goes. And maybe one of those deals where yeah, how about that? I hope the fans recognize this and give those 2 a round of applause. They do, and the fans are standing to congratulate the 2 seniors that are going to go out of the game. And what a moment. What a great moment for Maya Garcon and Eden Crow as they embrace, because they played really well. They had an amazing game, both of them tonight, and that sure makes it easier to go to the bench with 2 minutes to go, because players are fierce. They want to stay on the court, but they know they've got Saturday coming and the conference tournament coming, so they get their moment as seniors to go out with the ovation, and they can put the warm-up tops on, it looks like, in fact. So the numbers for those two, Eden Crow plays 31 minutes tonight, 9 of 16 from the floor, shoots 56%. She was also 5 of 6 at the free throw line. Will finish a couple of rebounds shy of that double-double, finishing with 23 points and 8 rebounds. And Maya Gerson plays 2 minutes more. She goes 33 minutes, 5 of 16 from the floor, and she finishes with 12 points, 6 rebounds, which is a big number for Maya, having 6 boards, 3 assists, and all-around good game from Maya Gerson and Eden Crow. As the clock will hit 2 minutes to play, 74-46 our score. Ouachita is about to win their third game and run that record to an even 500 at 3-3. Three-pointer goes for Hawkins. Monticello not done just yet. We'll also hear from Coach Dallimore in the postgame, but again, with the senior night activities, don't know exactly when that will be. He'll have some good things to say after this one, I would imagine. 3 from Moeller, good. Moeller, let me get that right. Moeller makes the 3, her second. Promise, she's only a freshman. I'll get it right by next year, hopefully before then. 1:20 to go, and see a drive in here by Hawkins, kick out. Mid-range jumper, Kizzy, too strong. Rebound, Williams, looking for a teammate, finds Osborne, and coach says, wait a minute, hold on, just slow it down here as we hit 1 minute remaining in this contest from Bill Vining Arena. The men on hand to watch. How about that? A 3 that almost went down for Schillmoeller. That would have been her third make. Offensive rebound. 3 doesn't go for Parker Smith, the freshman from Searcy out of Desart, getting into the game for a minute or so. And what a strong performance here for Ouachita. The step back 3 doesn't go. Offensive rebound, put back good, and a shoe lost by Bolton. Bolton gets the putback. And she still doesn't have her shoe on yet. Matthew Branch telling me Parker Smith getting her first action of the season, the freshman out of Searcy. So good to see that. 10 seconds left. Ouachita can dribble it out with the shot clock turned off. The Lady Tigers will defeat Monticello 77-51. A wire-to-wire victory. Ouachita scores 19 seconds into the game to lead 2-0, and they never look back to take the victory 77-51 over Arkansas Monticello. And in a COVID-19 stricken season, a shortened season, Monticello goes to 1-5, and Ouachita runs their record even at 3-3. Again, we will get to hear from Coach Robert Dallimore on this one, but we also have the senior night festivities, and when it is time, we will get the chance to turn it over to the PA announcer of Bill Vining Arena, Dr. Casey Model, and so he will be mic'd up, and we'll have it over there with him when the time is right. But for right now, until that time, tell you what, let's take just a quick break. Give me a chance to look over the stats. When we come back, we'll bring you those stats, and we will bring you all of the senior festivities as well. This is the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
First, they said cigarettes were safe. We know how that turned out. Now, they say they didn't market e-cigarettes to teens. Fact, more than 1 in 4 high school students are vaping, and 80% say their first e-cigarette was flavored. Vaping is harmful to developing brains. The reason we think vaping is safe? Marketing. Same lies, different day.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Welcome back to the Victorious Postgame Show tonight, as it is a victory for Ouachita, 77-51 over Monticello, as we are just about ready for the senior night festivities. Ouachita outscores Monticello in all four quarters. The biggest margin was the first when it was 22-9. Ouachita never really looked back at that point. And some of the numbers for you while we wait for the senior activities to take place. 29 of 75. Ouachita took 75 shots in this contest, 4 of 17 from three-point range, and 15 of 21 at the free throw line. They had 47 rebounds compared to just 32 for UAM, 20 of those coming on the offensive glass, and that's what led to all of the extra shots that Ouachita was able to get in this contest. And they led for the entire game. It just absolutely amazing. Monticello goes 17 of 48, and we'll head down to the PA announcer of Bill Vining Arena. Here's Dr. Casey Model. Coach David Sharp and talking with Coach Dallimore to get everybody lined up, and Eden Crow getting the embrace there from the family as well, and just about ready for Dr. Model. And
tonight is senior.
There he is.
Tonight is senior night here in Bill Vining Arena, and we honor and celebrate our student athletes in the Ouachita Lady Tiger and Ouachita Tiger programs. Let's try that again.
Back to Dr. Casey Model.
Tonight is senior night here in Bill Vining Arena, and we honor and celebrate our senior student athletes in the Ouachita Lady Tiger and Ouachita Tiger programs who have distinguished themselves as campus leaders both on and off the court. So let's meet the members of your 2021 Ouachita basketball senior class. First, guard number 5, Maya Gertzone. A dietetics and nutrition major from Liepaja, Latvia. Maya played on the Latvian junior national team before joining the Lady Tigers, for whom she has played in 88 games with 81 starts over a 4-year career. She has consistently been a team leader in assists, totaling 121 over her career, and posted a career high in points with 32 against Arkansas Tech earlier this month. Maya leads the Lady Tigers in 2021 from beyond the arc with a 3-point field goal percentage of .457. After graduation, she plans to become a registered dietitian. Maya is escorted this evening by Lady Tiger head coach Robert Dallimore, his wife Sharon, and assistant coach Reeves. Let's give it up for Maya Gertzone! Next up, senior forward number 22, Eden Crow. An education major with a kinesiology emphasis from Texarkana, Arkansas. Eden has played in 90 games with 61 starts over a 4-year career as a Lady Tiger. She led the team in rebounds and blocks in the 2019-2020 season and was second in scoring average with 12.1 points per game. Eden hit a career-high 28 points last Saturday against Southern Arkansas, en route to a double-double in scoring and rebounds. She posted her second consecutive double-double of the year this past Monday night in a victory over the Lady Reddies of Henderson State University. And she leads the Lady Tigers in rebounds so far this season with 52 before tonight's matchup. She leads the team in field goal percentage at .478, and she is currently the president of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and she's doing all of that while she's student teaching during the day. Eden plans to be a high school teacher and coach of basketball and track after graduation. She is escorted this evening by her parents, Rusty and Tommy Crow, her sister, Macy Crow, and her fiance, Evan Spears. Put your paws together for Eden Crow!
Our two seniors from the Ouachita women's team, Maya Gerson and Eden Crow. One more round of applause for them, and then Dr. Casey Moda will introduce the seniors for the Ouachita men's team.
Nero, a computer science major and sociology minor from Hot Springs. Lorenz has played 39 games with 17 starts over a 2-year career with Tiger basketball. In that time, he has started 17 of 39 games played. He led the Tigers with 52 assists in the 2019-2020 season and scored a career-high 15 points against Arkansas Tech University in November of 2019. Y'all give it up for Lorenz Nero. Next, senior guard number 21, K.D. Smith. A biology major with minors in psychology and sociology from Conway, Arkansas. K.D. has played 90 games with 62 starts over a 4-year career with the Ouachita Tigers. He boasts a career scoring average of 11.3 points per game with career highs of 34 points and 12 rebounds coming against Southwestern Oklahoma State in 2019. KD became the 16th member of the 1,000 Career Point Club this past Monday night against Henderson State, and he is currently 15th in program history in career scoring with 1,014 points. Y'all give it up for KD Smith. And finally, senior forward number 32, Matt Stanley. A business administration, sports management major, and coaching minor from Cabot, Arkansas. Matt has played in 74 games with 44 starts over a 4-year career with Tiger basketball. In that time, he has amassed 303 career rebounds and 614 total points, including a career-high 24 against Arkansas Tech in 2019. Let's hear it for Matt Stanley. One more time, let's congratulate the members of your Ouachita Basketball 2021 senior class.
Dr. Casey Modal there on PA as we have the senior night festivities honoring the two seniors on the women's basketball team, the three seniors on the men's team, Maya Gerson, Eden Crow, along with Lorenz Nero, Kendarius Smith, and Matt Stanley. Well, we also will hear from Coach Robert Dallimore in just a little bit, so that'll give us time to go back over those final numbers tonight on the Ouachita women winning 77-51. Bennett had 2 points in 21 minutes. They both came at the free throw line. Miller had 10 points in 28 minutes of action. Michaela Miller, 5 of 13 from the floor, also had 4 rebounds. Ray Osborne, strong game in 30 minutes of play, had 11 points. And Eden Crow, in 31 minutes, we gave you her numbers, 23 points and 8 rebounds. Maya Gerson had 12 points and 6 rebounds. And Parker Smith, able to play about 2 minutes. Shill Muller played 8 minutes, had 2 3-point makes. Kaylin Wright, 5 points and 5 rebounds. Dave Brown had 5 points in 8 minutes of action. And then also Wright had 3 points in about 12 minutes of action, and Williams had 11 minutes of play. So we're going to get a chance to talk to the seniors as well, which I think is going to be really great. Coach Dallimore is interacting with a couple of folks there before he hops on camera with us for the interview. So, again, it's going to be Coach Robert Dallimore, and it's going to be Maya Gerson and Eden Crow, which I think is going to be really phenomenal. And, of course, that's where the conversation is going to start by asking about these seniors. So everybody's looking for all of the proper ways of doing things. I think Coach Dallimore can hear me now. All right, Coach, can you hear me? Well, I think we'll do one interview at a time. One at a time here.
Okay, I can.
Coach, you got me?
I got you.
Well, we're figuring it all out. Coach, I think this is
Get on this side. Get on this side.
yeah, I'll just repeat. You can just repeat the question to her.
Huh?
I think this is very fitting to have your two seniors here. It was a great moment to get them out of the game the way you did. Let's talk about these two right here and what they did today and what they've done in their careers for Washita.
Well, I had kind of visualized doing this after the game, but I wanted them to get a win because I think there's no better memory than to get a win on senior night. And so they put in a lot of hard work. We still got a lot of ball left to play, but I'm happy for these two because they've really made a lot of sacrifices. You had the whole COVID deal, and they've had to keep working out. And they've worked out hard since the spring and the summer, and we're starting to see a little bit of success, but this is nowhere near what I want to have happen for them. And I'm going to let you talk to them. I'm just going to sit here and let them talk to you.
Well, great. They can
admire them.
They can share an earbud, and they'll both
let
be
me
able
just
to
say one thing, though.
Sure.
About these two.
Yeah.
They've really bought into the vision of what we're trying to do. I'm not the easiest dude to play for. I'm fairly intense, and but my desire is for them to become women of excellence, which they already are, but just to learn how to just kind of take to the next level and learn how to continue to reach for goals that maybe other people tell you are unrealistic in your life. And these are two phenomenal young women. I'm not saying it because we won. Even if we would have lost, I'd say the same thing. But I'm happy that they are finally starting to see the fruit of their labor.
All right.
So
well,
I'm going to let you talk to them.
Yeah, Coach, it does say a lot about their character because to come in as veterans and then you're the new guy. So Maya's going to get to put the earbud in there. This is my 5th year. I've been able to see your entire careers here at Washita. I hate that it has to be from way up here and y'all are way down there, but let's go to Eden first. And Eden, I want to just ask you about the 23 points and 8 rebounds just in this game on senior night. How important was that for you? What did that mean for you?
Honestly, I had no idea about either of those things. Really, the whole goal was just to get a win tonight so that we're ready to go on Monday. You know, when we get in the tournament, we want a good seed in the tournament because ultimately the goal is to win the tournament.
Yeah, it does say a lot about you and Maya both to come in a situation where you got the new coach. You are the leaders of the team, and I think this year y'all have really shown that. How do you put into words what this year's been like?
Crazy. That's the best word, just crazy. Definitely it's been a miracle, a blessing.
Yeah.
You think losing, so you don't go from losing all your games last year, we only won 4 games, and then not getting to play any games at the beginning of the year this year, to winning and now having a chance to go into the tournament with a good seed and potentially win in the tournament without God's grace, because there's no way we could have done it. And we've been talking all year about how the situation that we've been in has been God setting us up for Him to put Him on the stage, not us. So.
Well, hey, look, like Coach said, we're a long way from the year being over, but Congratulations on finishing the home season and go get one on the road Saturday. Maya, let's talk to you a little bit. You're such a long way from home. Does anybody in Latvia get to watch the games? Does anybody get to tune in and watch you?
Oh, yes.
Good.
My mom and dad wakes up for the late night games. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning.
That's awesome.
And they're, hi, Mom and Dad.
Oh, that's
I bet
great.
They're watching right now.
Yeah, well, Maya, you played a great game today. And tell me what that moment was like for you to get the standing ovation and Coach gets you out of the game. You get to hug Eden and kind of everybody, the spotlight was on you for a moment.
Oh, it's awesome. Me and Eden been here for 4 years. We started as a 6th freshman, ended up just us two. So it's been awesome journey for us too. So always grateful just to be here and enjoy those 4 years with Eden.
Okay, now Coach said he's fairly intense, I think was the word he used. How do you describe Coach?
Well, if he wouldn't be the way he is, we wouldn't be here where we are now. So as Coach say, we need to forget this game that we won. We need to prepare for Saturday's game. So that's how he always is, the next play.
All right, one more time to Mom and Dad. I think I cut you off. You can say hi to them.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, my boyfriend. Hi, everyone.
Coach Dallimore, congratulations. Eden, Maya, congratulations. And congratulations on a fantastic Washita career.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Yep. All right. We're gonna step away now. That is our coverage of our women's game, and there was extended time there for the men's game, so we've got about 25 minutes until we start the men's contest. So we'll have time to take a break, get the stream restarted again for the men's game. And again, the final 77-51. Ouachita wins big over Monticello. They're 3-3. They've got one game left in the regular season at Tech on Saturday. Top team in the East. And then we'll see what the tournament looks like the following week. But we hope to be back with you. So thank you so much from all of us on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, and for Matthew Branch, who did just such a great job. Again, we're going to step away. We'll come back with a new stream for the men's game. I'm Michael Westbrook. So long for now, everybody.